where there's a will, there's a way.
Quite literally, Will Tidwell, a younger gentleman.
I wish I didn't have this big heart. People just do nothing but hurt me. Anybody can dream the dream. Anybody can have a goal, but see,
you're gonna be a neighborhood hero. You just keep shining, young king.
Don't get it twisted that me talking about this plan is making people believe that just because you write the plan out, that everything is going to be perfect. Because that's not the case. Yeah, you still going to fail. Yeah, you still going to have some struggles. Yeah, things are still not going to go your way. Yeah, you still going to have some failures. Yeah, people are still not going to believe in you, even with the plan. But isn't that just kind of how it is? Taking that trip, there's still going to be roadblocks. There's still going to be detours. There's still going to be traffic. You still going to have to pull over sometimes. But the fact that you have that plan, at least you know you're going the right way, trying to get to where you're going. So again, I ask you this question, man. What's your plan? Where are you headed? Because you can dream all day. You can have the goal all day long. But did you ever take the time to make the roadmap to figure out how you're going to get to that destination that you're trying to get to?
Hey, what's going on, man? This is Will Z Tip. Will Speak Up Z. You're now tuned in to another episode of ZeeSpeaks the Podcast. Man, a podcast where we talk about real things for real people. Everything from business to life to mental health and everything else in between. And today, man, we got a really special episode for you guys. Something that we're going to be talking about. A reoccurring theme that I kind of saw throughout my notes as I was preparing was mental health, the mind, resting, recouping. And so that's something I think that's going to really speak to somebody and help somebody today. And make sure you check that last episode, man, where we talked about how to maximize our business and take back some of our time, especially people that have a 9-to-5. How can your business still thrive while you're still working your 9-to-5? And I use a real life client that I'm working with now. And I gave some really practical tips and advice. And I think it can help a lot of people. So be sure to go back and watch the last episode. I think 56 it is, or 57. It's Biz Life, and I had a really good gem that I left on the way out of that episode. So make sure you watch the whole thing so you can enjoy it. But before we get into this episode, we got to open up with a prayer because I forget sometimes. So let's do that, and then we can just hop right in. God, we come to you just thanking you for another day of life and all that you do for us day in, day out. Always provide and always making a way and making sure that we're okay in the midst of everything that's going on in this world. We know we're everything with you, man, and with nothing without you. God, I ask you can open up the hearts of the people that are listening to this episode, that it can help them, that they can speak to them, it can provide some value for them and give me the words to say and the proper way to say it to where it can reach them on a personal, on a deep level. God, again, we just want to say thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Yeah, man, I'm excited about this episode. I really, really am. I think it's going to do some good. And I don't know the name of it yet, but when I figure that out, obviously you'll know because it'll been dropped and I haven't figured it out. But I haven't come up with one yet as we're recording. So again, I hope you guys enjoy it. But before we open up, gotta do a quick promo. I already know, and then we're gonna hop right into the episode. And I'm gonna spill the beans. All right. So aren't you tired of mediocre writing and unengaging content? Look no further than Escort Writing and Media Company. Our team of expert writers and editors are dedicated to delivering high-quality content that resonates with your target audience. Everything from blog posts to media content to essays to website jargon and business plans and everything else in between. We can take care of that for you guys, all right? And we can't forget about our students, right? With the end of the semester approaching, now was the time to get ahead of the game. Our ghostwriting services will ensure that your papers are well written, thoroughly researched, and delivered on time. Don't let academic stress get in the way of your success. Listen, to learn more about our services or to get started today, all you got to do is text ESQ to 501-529-7324, or you can even call us, and we'll be sure to take care of you, man. We'll get all those writing, those media, those marketing, those communication needs taken care of. All right, man. So I'm really excited about this this episode. I'm not sure what we're gonna call it yet, but yeah, I think this is gonna really add some value to some people, like I said. So one of the first things I said is that I said at some point in your life, you really sit down and you start to realize what matters most in your life. You feel me? Like, for everybody, there comes this certain time in our life where something just hits you. You go through something something changes, something happens. And life has this way of really putting in perspective who and what and the things you should be giving your time, your energy to. You know, for some, it's having a child. For some, it's hitting a major achievement in your life. For some, it's going through something so painful or so dark that they never want to feel that pain again. But whatever it is, right? Like, no matter who you are, there's going to come time in your life where you really just got to sit down and you got to think about what matters. And make almost this promise to yourself. Like, it don't matter if you make the promise to nobody else, because at the end of the day, if you don't make the promise to yourself to say that I'm going to stop giving my time and my energy to some of these things that don't matter in my life. The things that every time I pour into them, they never reciprocate. They never give anything back. They only take away from my life. There has to come that time in your life where you just start to sit down and realize what really matters. And I don't know, man. That's just where I wanted to go with that one. You feel me? Like, that's what I was feeling when I wrote it, because I've just hit, and the thing is that you might not just hit one situation or scenario that makes you feel that way. You might hit multiple. You're going to hit multiple, because I just went through one where I was like, damn, that don't even matter. That don't even deserve my attention and my time and my effort and my care. It's only hurting me. And you almost get frustrated with yourself when you look back. And I've done an episode about this, right? Like, you almost get frustrated with yourself when you sit back and you think about some of the things you've allowed, some of the things that you've accepted, some of the things that you knew you could have changed, but you chose not to, and you kept letting it happen. Like, that almost frustrates you once you hit such a level of clarity to where you realize what does matter most. Man, it's almost frustrating. But yeah, man, on number 2, what I said is I said that at some point there are some people in life, right? They don't necessarily mean to play mind games with you, but there are certain people, their mind is just all over the place. Like, let me get some water real quick before I break that down. Hold on one second. Man, I was thirsty. I said that as some people don't mean to play mind games, but sometimes their mind is just all over the place. And what I meant by that is that sometimes we make it all about us when people start to act a certain way. And I think one of the most profound things I saw the other day, it's not my original words. It said that before you start to think that I'm acting funny with you, how about you check on me first? Because I might be dealing with something that ain't got nothing to do with you. And sometimes we get frustrated with certain people when they don't just communicate. And we say that, why didn't you just communicate that? Why didn't you just say that? But I don't think a lot of people understand how uncomfortable communicating can be for certain people. How hard it can be to open up and really just say what's on your heart from a vulnerable state. Some people just literally don't know how. Now, is that making an excuse for it to be right, or they're saying that's something that should be accepted, or that it's okay? I'm not saying that. Because at the end of the day, if this person shows you to give their heart, give their love, give their time, their energy to you, and you can't even simply communicate with them, that is frustrating. Because I've been on that side of it too. But again, I think sometimes when people do certain things towards us, or they act certain ways, we take it personally. When sometimes they literally might be dealing with something that's bigger than you, and you expect them just to communicate it, and sometimes that can be difficult. Does it make it right? No, it doesn't. Should they work on it? Yeah, they should. Should you forgive them? Maybe not. Maybe you don't give them the same you. Maybe you don't give them the same energy you did before. Maybe that changes. But then again, if you can find it in your heart to forgive them, you should try. Because I guarantee there's gonna come a time in your life where it's gonna be hard for you to open up. It's gonna be hard for you to express yourself because of something you went through or something you dealt with or whatever the case may be. And you're gonna wish somebody would give you that same forgiveness. Right? Because it's kind of like a two-edged sword with that quote. That's why I wrote it. It's like everybody doesn't mean to play mind games and act funny. Everybody doesn't mean to. Not everybody. Now, some people just don't give a damn. Some people have ill intent. But sometimes it really is hard to open up, to say what's on your heart so easily. Especially if you just met the person. Right? I get it if you've been rocking for a while, y'all been knowing each other for a while, whatever. I get that. But it's different, especially when you just met them. And that's just something I have, to acknowledge, right? Something I had to speak on. And I hope people can understand where I'm coming from that. And I want to hear people's opinions on this, right? So in the comments, right, and, on here, I want you to be able to give me your feedback. How you feel about that? Which side of that situation have you been on? All right, I want to really hear about that. Text it to me. Text it to me at 501-529-7324 and let me know your opinion about this episode so far, what you've heard. I want to know about that. I really do. But here, before we get into the next part, we're going to do another commercial break real quick. All right, and then we're going to come back. And we're going to wrap this thing up with a couple more gems. And then I got a surprise for y'all, like a final thought type deal again, right? But this time it's going to be business related. So I kind of flipped it. So today we talked more about some life and about mental health. And I'm going to wrap it up with a business tip for all my people out there. But let's do our quick commercial and then we'll just come right back. All right. Are you struggling with your business or your media or your marketing? Don't worry, just get help from Esquire Writing and Media Company. See, we offer a free discovery call tailored just to your needs. Our experts will listen, will analyze, and will provide valuable insight to ensure that you get the goals that you're wanting. See, and then on the plus side, what we're going to do is provide a plan that you can take back to your business, your organization, or just your overall creative project that you're working on, and be able to give you a clear, actionable plan of what it is that you need to do to accomplish the thing you're trying to accomplish. And all you have to do is either go to our website at speakupz/Esquire, or you can call us at 501-529-7324 to schedule your free call. We really look forward to hearing from you guys. And then until next time, love you. Now back to the episode. All right, y'all, man. We back for part two. Like I said, we got a couple more quotes we're gonna do. Some recent things that I've written and thought about, and that I really wholeheartedly believe. And then I'm gonna give you guys a final thought, right? Really when it pertains to business and content and marketing. And then we're gonna call it a day. I really appreciate you guys for rocking with us, man, and rocking for the show. For as long as you guys have, and if you're new to the show, man, welcome. Man, really thankful to have you guys. But man, let's get into this part two. And then we'll wrap this thing up. So one of the next things I wrote is I said that sometimes you just need to change your scenery just to regather, to regroup. And I think that one is pretty self-explanatory, and really speaks to our mental health in a way, right? Because there does come those times in our life where we just have to get out of our normal environment, right? We just need somewhere different that can bring us a peace of mind. A time in our life where we can relax and we can just not have to worry about anything. Because we go through our whole life, allowing certain things to stress us out, allowing certain things to put us in a certain frame of mind. And it's not until we leave those places or we let those people go or that we no longer allow ourselves to go through the same old cycles and the same old situations. It's where we're able to regather and regroup. And so I think that quote goes a lot deeper than just, taking a vacation and going to a nice place, even though that's one of my favorite things to do is to go on vacation and travel just to regather and to regroup. But I think that quote speaks a little bit deeper than that. It's not only saying that sometimes we need to change the scenery and go take a vacation, but sometimes we need to change the scenery in the people that we associated with, the people we attach to, the things that we're doing. And sometimes we just got to make that decision to change things up and do things a little bit differently and look at things a little bit differently if we ever want change in our life. Right? Because even though some things aren't fair and life can be harsh and things of that nature, I couldn't agree more. There are certain situations and certain stipulations within our life that we can control. And there's certain situations in our life that we've been able to put ourselves in that nothing else had to do with but us. No matter how much we want to blame somebody or be upset with somebody else, man, there's certain things about our life and certain decisions we made that put us exactly where we are. So sometimes in order for us to be able to regather and to regroup and to get our mind right, and to get back to being the person that we was always made to be, sometimes we need to change the scenery. Sometimes we got to do things a little bit differently. Because when I wrote that and everybody loved it, everybody thought I was talking about just taking a vacation. But I think it's much deeper than that. Sometimes you got to change the people. Sometimes you got to change the habits. Sometimes you got to change the mindset. Sometimes you got to change the way you carry yourself. And if you love who you are and you're happy with the life that you have, then maybe this isn't for you, right? But I think the people that are fed up, the people that are at their wits' end, the people that know that they want better, the people that know that they deserve better, maybe it's time for a change of scenery so you can regather, so you can regroup, so you can really take the time to just figure out who you are. And again, like I said earlier in the episode, to figure out what matters. And for the next one I wrote, I said that it sucks when you come to that certain place in your life where you really just don't feel like yourself. And there's nothing you can do about it. Like when you come to that certain place in your life where you really don't know what's wrong, right? But it just feels like nothing quite seems to go right. It seems like no matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter how you look at things, you're just not happy. You just don't feel whole. Like you just don't feel like yourself. And the worst part is when you feel like you can do nothing about it. And for the person that does feel like that, the person that is going through that, I need you to know that you're not crazy. That you're not alone. It's just that some people are so good at pretending that everything is all right all the time that you would never know that they was dealing with the exact same thing that you're dealing with. They feel alone in crowded rooms that sometimes their thoughts get so loud that they wish they would just be quiet for a while. You will fall from alone. Some people just are good at pretending, and they're much better at it than you. But it does suck when it comes those times in your life where you really don't know what's going on. You don't know why you're feeling the way you're feeling, but you just know something isn't right. And I pray you get to that place in your life where you just feel like yourself again. Where you feel like you can be happy and genuinely mean it. Like not having to pretend, not having to, put on this facade like everything is okay. Like actually mean it, that happiness and feel that happiness. You deserve that. After everything, all the shit you done been through in your life, man, you deserve that. And see, the crazy thing is, I think I'm saying that stuff just to y'all. I'm saying it to myself. Because if I'm being honest, y'all, man, I've had so many good people in my life. So many people that would have done anything for me. That love me so much, I don't think I could ever understand how much that they did love me. But because I knew they loved me, but because I knew how much they cared for me, I thought that they would never leave. I thought that they would always be there no matter what I did wrong or how I treated them. Until they left. And it doesn't hit you until after they're gone that they just didn't deserve that. But yeah, man. Those are some of the things that have been on my mind the most. And again, the whole point of them is just to share some of my new writings with you. I think that's what this show really is share my writing, share my thoughts. Be able to speak to the supporters, right, and answer their questions and answer you guys' questions, and that's the beautiful thing about it. The show can be anything we want it to be any given day, right? And we just hope that in all the different ways that we deliver and bring this show to you, again, it just adds value. You're able to have takeaways from this, because if it's not doing that, then we're not doing our job. And so we want to make sure we are doing that. And so again, appreciate you, and the love is, man, we really appreciate it, for real. So before we get out of here, I'm going to do a quick, biz tip of the day, right? As our kind of final wrap up, our final, gem of the day for you guys. And then we'll get out of here, man. So yeah, the one I have for you today is, I said that the best storyteller always wins. When it comes to content, when it comes to social media, when it comes to marketing, and really being able to understand what you're about, who you support, how you support them, and why you support them, right? So getting back to the vision, the mission, why you do what you do, why you are who you are. And I told somebody this the other day. I was on a conference call with them, helping them build out a new business they want to build, and they were basically saying, I was basically telling them, rather, you got to do the boring stuff before you start worrying about content and marketing and branding. You got to do the boring stuff, because if you don't understand the vision, the mission, what you're trying to accomplish, what you're trying to embody, what you're trying to do, who you're doing it for, what the problems they're having, that is the content. Because once you understand those, then those translate into content. Because think about it, I'm gonna break it down like this. If I understand that one of the problems for my company is to help creatives, business owners, and nonprofits that don't understand how to start a business, I know that's something they struggle with. Then why would I not make content about how to start a business? You feel me where I'm coming from? Do the boring stuff. Don't skip those steps. Don't skip figuring out what you represent, who you're trying to help, how you're trying to help them. And I think when you hear who you're trying to help, get away from that bullshit avatar stuff when they try to say this person is 26 years old. And I get it, but what are the tangible problems that those people are having? Think about the problem more than the person. You feel me? Because when you figure out the problem the person is having, you will be able to speak to the audience in which you want to attract. That's how you got to look at it. If you really can master your storytelling and master the way you convince people and master the way you make people feel with your content and your marketing, you're going to win. But go do the boring stuff first so you can understand how to master your voice and your storytelling and the way you deliver a message and how you say it and who you're saying it to and how it reaches them. All of that matters. And then you get to a point where you start putting out stuff at such a high volume that everything won't make it, everything won't connect, everything won't be the one. But if I'm putting up the numbers, something's going to hit, something's going to resonate, something is going to change that person's life. So you have to think about it that way. Don't get in your feelings. I'm really giving you two-part, Jim. Don't get in your feelings when that content flops. Don't let that afflict. Don't let that impact your mindset and how you go about delivering your marketing for your brand. Don't get lazy with it just because it happens. All right? Keep trying until you figure out what works and what fits and what makes it you and what really makes people feel. But even then, don't get so caught up in what works that's the only thing you do either. You dig what I'm saying? Like, keep diversifying. Don't feel like y'all over the place. No, fuck that. Try different stuff. Talk about business, talk about life, talk about mental health, talk about your family, talk about your hobbies. Like I swear it's gonna change your life if you do that. And take pride in how it looks. And you'll win. And so, yeah, man, I went on a rant there, 4-minute rant for you guys, and I hope it helps somebody's business. Cause that's a big, pivotal part of what we do here, and who I am. And so, man, if you got questions or something you want to ask me personally about your company and more tailored to you, that was kind of broad, or if you need something more tailored to your actual company, man, text me 501-529-7324. I'm always available, and I always try to get back with you within 24 hours. But yeah, man, that wraps up our episode for today. I really hope it adds value. I hope it spoke to somebody. I hope it helps somebody. That's the whole goal. And if I'm not doing that, I'm not doing my job, and this show is not doing its job. And so, yeah, man, please leave reviews, leave comments. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and to the audio as well. And until next time, man, that's Z. And that's the ZeeSpeaks Podcast. I love y'all. Peace.